Welcome to Black History Month, in quotes, Black History Truths. Whoever wins the war tells the story. Remember these words. Today, what I'm going to share with you will be a great experience for you during these 31 days of Black History Month. Let's get into this. Don't forget to click the notification bell and subscribe. We have lots of things going to be going on. Yes, 31 days of lots of history about the Black people. And I really believe that you're going to be quite amazed. I hope that you don't get too annoyed, but you know what? Be accepting of what has gone on in the past and let us move forward, knowing that we have history and it's a great history. And that's the amazing thing. So yes, please hit the subscribe button, because after the 31 days is finished, I have my series and I will continue with that series. And it's in association with IAU.TV. So it's in association with IAU TV, and that will be a 1 week series every week, half an hour, not a lot, so it won't take up your time. Please do, and you'll find it's always on a Friday evening at 7:30. Okay, so I hope you will enjoy that, and please leave comments and let me know if you've got questions, and some of you I would like to interview you if you don't mind. So if you do, send me a note, leave your email so I can have a little chat and see what we can do, because there's lots of things that I've found out and the research is amazing. And so I just want to put it out there for our Black people. And we've got to unite with both Black, white, yellow. We've just got to unite. It's not about, okay, but it's because of, I'm talking about our history, because it's been hidden, it's been taken away, and basically we need to now know this is time, it's our time to know this. We know about everybody else's nations, but we need to know about ourselves. Okay. And also, please press the thumbs up or like the button. Yeah, thank you. Right, moving on. Whosoever wins the war tells the story. Please, you've got to remember these words, because it's very important, because this is why we are told what we're told today, and this is why we did not know about ourselves enough. And now, as we begin to dig, and we've gone into museums, we've gone into art places where we look at art, and trust me, they have been putting things away, not throwing them away, but acknowledging that this is the truth, but we have to give them the story that we've been told to give them. So let us not be hating on people, but let us now love and embrace that we now know our true history, and that's what's so amazing. Right. So I want to go in and say to you, show you, what does this mean? Whosoever wins the war tells the story. So I'm going to read something to you to let you so we can sort of understand what does whoever wins the war tells the story. And this is taken from what's the gentleman's name? Nick Sacco, dealing with the Civil War at the time, history. And it says here, Black History War. Who wins the war writes the history. So who wins the war writes the history. History is always written by the winners when two cultures clash. The loser is obliterated and the winner writes the history books. Did you hear that? Books which glorify their own cause. Books which glorify their own cause and disparage the conquered foe. And disparage the conquered foe. So then there's a heading that says exploring the past, bad historical thinking. I think I might have, yeah. Oops, this way. And it goes on to say, One of the most unfortunate and widely accepted ideas about historical thinking is that history is written by the victors. This talking point asserts that the truth of the past is not shaped by a reasoned interpretive historical scholarship or a factual understanding of the past, but by the might of political and cultural leaders on the winning side of history. I'm going to read some more. The winners have the power to shape historical narratives through school textbooks, through school textbooks, public iconography, I'm coming to that one, movies, and a range of other mediums. To be sure, these mediums are powerful venues for establishing political ideologies and shaping personal assumptions about personal assumptions about the way the world works. And it's definitely true that governmental or official entities can and do exploit this power to achieve their own end. Historian John Bodnar discusses the concept of official cultural expressions that aim to shape how people remember the past. These expressions originate from social leaders and official authorities who seek to shape society's historical understanding in ways that promote social unity. I don't think so, because if it's social unity, that doesn't make sense. And I'll go on to add to that. The reason why I say that is social unity should be good, or is it talking about just everybody talking in the way they want them to talk? I think it's got to be according to what they've asked, what they've portrayed to us. So therefore, that's what we will do in terms of social talking, because social unity, the continuity of existing institutions and loyalty to the status quo. In other words, those in power have an interest in maintaining their power and usable past that conforms to their vision of present day conditions can function as a strong tool in upholding their status. He goes on to say, this is Nick Sacco's speech. It is a mistake, however, to assume that only the winners of history have the power to manipulate the past to attain their present day goals. This is especially the case in an age where the interest wields enormous potential for a person from any walk of life to build a powerful platform for spouting their beliefs and opinions. We must do away with this fiction that history is only written by the winners. He states fiction, but I'm stating that, unfortunately, for what he's saying, he got a lot of it right, but the fiction bit, it's not a fiction. It actually is. I mean, you've got colonialism, and although Great Britain hasn't got the empire the way they used to have it, and then, as I said, the English, we have to learn whatever they put in the textbooks or whatever they say that we should be taught is what we get taught. So I think maybe he might be meaning fiction in their minds, but in reality it's true. And so whoever wins the war tells the story. Please remember these words. And because what I want when I begin to share with you what I have discovered and researched, and even throughout England, you must learn to take your family on travels. I'm going to give you a list of stuff after the 31st of October in the TV series IAU TV. I'm going to give you lots of stuff, and you got to go out on outings and just go and look at these places, because there's some things that's gone on. And you know what, that's why you can't find anything on your history, because not say you can't find it, but it's hard to find it. To dig for it, you have to dig, like a well. To get water, you got to keep digging until the water comes. Sometimes you got to dig so deep into the earth. And that's what our information, our history, lots of things that we have we had in the past have been burnt. So that's why you're not going to find a lot of stuff, but there are still some people that like to hold on to stuff, and some have been buried with their stuff, some have hid stuff, and hopefully that the right person will find it. Yeah, so let's go. So the first thing I want to do is show you a clip. It's on YouTube. This gentleman's name, if I remember rightly, is some Nathaniah Israel, and he hits it on the nail. So let's go to that. Yeah, so first let us go to the one thing I really want people to get. And we have the Bible, and we're not talking about church, I'm just telling about this Bible. And we have several Bibles, but the Bible itself, they tend to base it on a white nation. And but the Bible was actually written by Black people, from what I can see through history, because of the history and the information that who are the people are in the Bible, they were actually Black. And Saint Peter the Apostle, you know, the one that was the Lord said that, you know, didn't deny me 3 times. I mean, that's what they say in the Bible, yeah, but I'm just saying, is that Peter we're talking about? And he is in his statue is in the Vatican, outside the Vatican. And you can see by his hair, not all Black people have curly, you know, not curly hair, but, you know, Black look hair, but his one was obviously, he looks like that. And the Vatican can verify that. They, you know, they're not going to sit there and tell you, oh, Paul wasn't Black, because not Paul. Well, Paul was Black too, but we're talking about Apostle Peter, because his statue is standing there. I don't see Paul's one. And the wonderful thing about Europe is they don't care. Yes, they were Black, but it's England that's the issue. They separated themselves from the whole of Europe, and they've gone and done it now even in this Brexit thing. And they are like almost to themselves doing what they want to do, because sometimes I think that we don't like discipline, don't want to do what you're doing. And so you find that they just want to do their thing. And so they're cut off. In Europe, there's loads of information that, you know, loads of statues, loads of sightseeing you can go and do, like I said, in England, but sightseeing around Europe, and you listen, they're not going to hide it, it's all there. But you know what? He who wins the war tells the story. And because now they are, they've taken over, they've won that battle. I'm going to go through some of the wars that Black people actually did go through, and, you know, some of the places where they were living in England. But just watch this YouTube. It is amazing. Okay. And this is in Italy, in Rome, in the Vatican, where the Pope stays. Yeah. So watch this. And this is Saint Peter the Apostle is statue in the Vatican. Right, so yeah, so what did you think about that? And you know, what did you think about that? And you know that at least you can see people are going and touching. I'm not sure whether they realize, but the Vatican can tell you the truth that he definitely was a black man. But you see, in the times of the Holy Roman Empire, and even before that, there was really enough that people weren't bothered about. There was thing, this word called black. If I remember when I read something somewhere, they looked at black people as Indian people. Yeah. So there was kind of, if you're gonna say, oh, the darker person, it'd be like an Indian person. Or I'm not sure if they used the word tawny at the time or if they used the word swathi, because a lot of people say swathi belongs to white people, but unfortunately that really does not. It actually belongs to dark skinned people. And they would say, okay, the person's white, but their skin is dark. But they're actually talking about the dark complexion person. Their skin is burnt in the sun. Yeah. The weather burned their skin. And if you were white, yeah, your skin's burnt, you know, burnt, which I'm thinking if you're in like a hot country, you're really not going to be white skin. But the person, like, from what I understand from historians, the word Swathi in itself is actually belonging to dark-skinned people, meaning they call them when they're burnt in the sun, they're dark, yeah? And so, yes, so that was St. Peter in the Vatican. His statue is still there. Look, you can look at his hair, look. Look at this guy's hair. And they will say to you, you know, I think that a lot of people don't want to know you have a history, you know, or well, Europeans' hair or, you know, white person's hair can look like that is a black man. And, you know, at the end of the day, we didn't just come from slavery. We came from also royalty. There's lots of royal families around that were black way before you say Meghan, you know, lovely lady, beautiful lady. But you know what? I take my cap off to it, both of them, Meghan and William. But what I'm saying is that before that they said that she's a black royal, but what it is there was way more royals before her, so she shouldn't even bother herself, because at the end of the day, it is this divide and conquer and stop the people from being in unity, so that if they're in unity, then, because before people went about their business, whether you're black or you're white, they didn't care. There was no, oh, you're black over there, you're white, and you should stay away from people, because most of the black people were quite wealthy. So, and I'll get you some of the names of these groups of people, what they were called. Yeah. I don't want to spill too much beans because I've got lots to tell you, and I just want to just concentrating every day. Today is the first day of Black History Month, and I just want to concentrate on one individual. Only going to be a 30 minutes, and you know, just to highlight that basically Paul the Apostle from the Bible, I don't know what I keep saying Paul, but Paul was definitely black, but St. Peter the Apostle from the Bible was St. Peter the Apostle from the Bible was black. And there's no doubt about it. I don't think the Pope's going to say to you, no. He's going to say, yes, he was. And this is what I don't get, because a lot of, especially English people, they really believe that they have the history and everything. It's a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, I think the majority of them, when you tell them this, they're going to just look at you and think you always want everything to be black. No, we don't. But we're just telling you that this man, St. Peter, the apostle, was black. And so was Paul, the apostle, black. And all the other apostles, they were actually black. And I remember going on the internet one day, and I went to look for the Nicene Council and just to sort of look up some information about what was said in the Nicene Council and how come the Bible's got so many different sects and beliefs. You know, different people have been, different sects have been, had some of their beliefs being put in the Bible. I mean, a lot of people think the Bible's just straightforward, you know, just being said, like, you know, this is what is being said and the Lord said it, and don't seem to realize that Constantine did bring, I think it was 300 and something bishops, but I don't think all of them turned up. And the ones that did turn, I think 180 or something like that turned up, they were able to have their say. They took whatever they agreed, they took what they said, put it in the Bible, and that was it. Now, does that mean that means that the Bible and what they said, their beliefs, they put it in there? Remember, because they all had different religions. A lot of them had the different religions. I mean, in those days, you had the Arians, the Mercians. You know, you had lots of different names. The Goth, the Arians, the Mercians. You had the agnostics, Gnostics. I think it's Gnostics, and you have the other one, Ebionites, the Pharisees, Sadducees. You had loads of different religions. There were loads of different religions, and they were still arguing to that point, even now, even what we're doing today. And so, yeah, so going back to that, in the Nicene Council, I went on the YouTube just to go and find some information about, you know, the different beliefs and how they got in the Bible and how they put it all together and so forth. And on there, I saw, to be honest with you, majority of these people, and I didn't see a whitehead, I saw all blacks. And I thought, this must be a mistake. Something's wrong, because I know that they're white. See, because remember, I'm taught this, we're taught everybody was white. Nobody was black. Now, I think if you get a history that everybody's got history and only black people ain't got no history, then that means that something's wrong. Because if you all came out from black, then that's impossible. We have no history. And so therefore, I mean, as a naively, I used to think it was just slavery, but obviously I've got a little bit more sense now to know that we have a history too, and it's just been blotted out, or tried to be blotted out, so that we don't find out about who we are. We must be an amazing people, because for you to have to hide our history, there's something much more. You know, I'm not doing this to get back at anybody. I'm just doing this because I want to know about my history. And I want to encourage us all we're black people, know your history, know where you're coming from, what's going on, who and what. And we're not slaves. I mean, they said that when black people were in this country in the 1600s, they were slaves. That's not true. Before the 1600s, if they were saying that black people were slaves, any black people that was in the country, they were trumpeters and stuff like that. That was a lie. They were royal family. They were black people, and they reigned in this country. There's a queen they mentioned that I'm not going to say it now. That was the first queen. No. She was not the first queen of this country and black. Let me tell you. So I'm about to go into that. But here we are. We're standing there talking about St. Peter the Apostle. And just to let you know, the Council of Nicaea the majority of them were black. Okay. And we just got to accept that. And this is the truth now. The truth is coming out. It's been out there. People have been talking, and I think lots of people have been thinking they're mad, they're crazy. But these people are not crazy. They were trying to tell us and we weren't listening. But we need to know our history, and there's nothing wrong with us knowing our history. I don't know why people would want to tell us that we shouldn't know it. And then, like, did Jesus Christ is black. And, you know, people can say what they want, but he was definitely whitewashed. And a lot of people know that. So why is it that you don't want to believe that the apostles were also black and the Council of Nicaea was black? You know, this is the true history, and we've got to just learn to accept that. That's our history. And if you are following a religion or following the Bible, it is coming from a black perspective, not really a white perspective, but it is for everybody. And I think it's more, like I said to you, whoever wins the battle, wins the war, tells the story. And because of that, our history saying the Bible is nothing to do with black people or whatever like that. It's a white thing, but we know that Jesus was Jewish. I'm just trying to relate so we can see what's going on here. So no, you know, it's like someone taking your history and changing it and making it theirs. And that's what has gone on. And now, no longer, you can't tell people, there's a word that says you can fool people some of the time, but you can't fool them all the time. Anyway, tomorrow's 2nd of October, and we'll leave it here. Well, I hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed what you've seen for well, it's short, sweet and spicy, about the first black, not first black person, but the black person who was Peter the Apostle, was considered, they thought was white, but he was actually black, and you could see that when he was in the Vatican. Okay, you might say, okay, the statue is black, but doesn't mean he's black, but he was definitely black. And you might need to go and ask the Pope that, and he will tell you the truth. If he's a Pope that tells the truth, which I believe he does, he will tell you the truth that Peter the Apostle was black. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this series. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, 2nd of October. Give us a thumbs up, press the like button, subscribe, and press the notification button. See you tomorrow. Take care.